And the explanation for our universe is that we are on the appropriate incline, the appropriate invitation. The garden facilitates the type of enlightened stacking, allowing a heliosphere to generate true epiphany of an individual, all layers of planetary system. There's a relief in the helium, multiple controlled automatic, that's the static constant of the Earth heliosphere is designed to provide for the entire universe tree. And so the reality, the impact of our individual is at the same time apparently over our head, and the universe is so large. But geometry explains that I've had it up to here with this universe, right? Because the body is geometrically bridled like the perfect riding horse, for the equipment of a lifetime and the loyalty, the response, right? Your body truly is your own, but in a certain geometric prism, or what is that? They're basic numbers, like shapes, have confirmed consent with hatching the heliosphere egg solid matter, where there is such disagreement in the existence, like space fever. That's when the universe starts to fall apart. And ultimately, the market is a percentile of escape velocity from a universe that has a medical condition. Only Earth heliosphere can supply the medical universal penicillin. I've retrofitted the Earth with the universal anatomy helium from billions and billions of hyper intelligent universe structures. We have compiled Explodey X5000. He has this rebuilt Y chromosome, the size of the heliosphere shell, and it provides all layers relief for the planetary system and the full expansion pack. Welcome to the perfect circle, the event of wizards. Our communication provides the next step and the three toast event to perfect the moment of our communication. That is the equipment of this communication. That's a chance when you receive a communication that contains within it the very fountains of youth, for to secure on the market of what is the next level. Does it come from humans? My superposition is like a Babel fish to humanity. And so for humans living today, they listen to me and I appear to be too conveniently connecting things like, well, here's a solution. It's simple. And they're like, look, if that was so easy, it would already be done that way. And I'm like, I'm telling you, I'm doing something so progressive that I need to scrape with basic shapes. Solid matter has already sequestered consent with the empty space, what it's for, or what is a lifetime for, what is a planet for. And when these things are being hyper collided, like with humanity, there's an opportunity to have a more advanced interior ghost hyperstructure to calibrate your greater well-being and benefit. Because your self-defense, when you're scribing whatever, and every level for all forever. How do you plan to exist? Everyone is facing that, but on their own time. Now, to facilitate that, it's this flat dimensional Mandelbrot, but the keystone of how the Mandelbrot operates like a mystery to itself occurs through the humanity and through myself, the keystone object. And I became self-aware of these and that orientation The universe just speaks to me differently. For me to communicate is the enlightened chapel, where people can see a drawn picture of an armored suit of Explodey 5000. And they're like, oh, well, I put a particle in myself in that just in case this is important. That's basically with the telescope of a million years in the future, you're already working with the truth. What it is all day, we want to find out. Yeah, let's find the leverage so that we can solve the problems in the universe. And really, that's going to bring advantage to our language in the humanities to empower these sorts of equilibriums that sustain the entire global reason, like a shimmering light, like a Christmas tree all lit up. For example, the forest in its natural state, if helium and hydrogen weren't being harassed by a telecommunications pulsar that causes the universe to collapse, is really upsetting for the Earth heliosphere. But you can't escape your identity or who you are or your responsibilities, and that's a sort of mostly good thing. It's like 75% popular thing to self-reliance. People are like, yes, we're done, way in the future, in the way future is like 95% of people, creatures, and on odd bodies in the universe desire self-reliance or a type of karma that explains they've earned their levitation, or they sort of exist in a fabric of the universe. That's part of the genius design or whatever. But to the perfect pointillisms that sustain it, but when we're talking about the universe and how we're all going to get along, man, that's where you want to use the imagination, the whatever. That's where you want to throw a daub of paint, because it's like, holy smoke, we just need like a lot of, conjecture for the future, the next 100 years. So what we're going to do is, we're moving faster than the speed of light. In our communication, it's chancy what might come up. And so I want you guys to put in your full percent of your angel, your unicorn's horn right here. Oh, and the technology is like your greatest moments in your life becomes a levitating in your forehead, a sequence of like an image of your identity. But this is the best way to cause the future to curvature for your luck and the completion of what will fulfill you. So there's a subtle leap. That's where like the illusion can't be distorted. Is like there's a little like an engine. There's a piece of it that the thing about sending into the future needs to not be an irritation to other colossal bodies. It needs to navigate like this. But to avoid becoming like hivish and stuff, and the chaos needs to keep rolling, you need to allow it to bracket down to this like staplet that becomes like the social commodity that is like gravity. Like everyone's already agreed to gravity force. Oh, and that brings me to this. What's amazing about the Y chromosome, because it's just like a really long list. The Y chromosome is actually how gravity operates. It is the force of attraction. And the list of the Y chromosome's actual physics on time, like for the next 100 years, or the world, or the universe, or yourself, or everything. It's like a jackknife of cool toys and compasses and cell phones and gadgets that are essential to promote what is the permanent equipment in the universe. We don't want to be left in the dust, especially because Earth is apparently the anvil that manufactures certain particle physics. Yeah, well, I'm trying to open that up so that the public, with their goodness, Merry Christmas, can turn and destroy evil. Because my arrival was like, there's this ancient wrong fell settings against Earth, and it's just like all of their ancient plots went off, and there was this like in the 90s, like it was all like, and with like there'd be like a couple genuine, really weird, nightmarish things that would happen. And at the tail end of it, it's like a screeching miracle bleach that's not supposed to be there. It's like from a dying world, and Earth's just like, but then like it becomes this like it becomes a sort of special on TV. Meanwhile, you guys, I'm talking about the revolution of the identity of America. And so the Revolution Center, my streaming service, Hatch and Millie's Master Source Industries, welcome to our laboratory. We're here to invite you in and treat you and amuse you and bring you to a place where you comprehend that in a flicker of light, right, the image of your achievement is held as a type of navigation of your best form of yourself. Like, and this, you can continue making choices with that. There's new levels of technology, new stabilized things that we want the human public to be having a foot traffic through it, and not for it to be like, well, keep it natural. Yeah, but except for the Holy War was bleaching the singularity and injuring his lifetime physics. And so here and here, along with the Earth being superpositioned with hydrogen, helium, like a Parmentia dimension. It's demented. Like for where do you find the curvature of a flat tire in nature? All right, well, here's one of them. In nature, you walk through the forest, if everything was healthy in the heliosphere egg, there would be a subtle glow that would permeate the night. There would be these fairy lights, that epiphany from the ethos of the trees, and the animals would walk through, and these particles of light, which are little fairies, from the tree tips. It's a fractal. It's a fractal party. All right. It's a fractal epiphany of light and the status of light. And because our trees and our forests don't produce these fairy lights, but humanity knows about the truth of the spirit lights in the eyes. They're like, we know about ghosts and stuff. So the swamp is telling us that, you know, the tummy is upset. And the weird thing is that the humanity is not particularly the one to blame, but they feel as if they are. And that's the feeling of like this weird thing where is our future being hacked and narrate, because it feels like that with the authorship and society being slippery. And people want to empathize with society and just say, hey, what it is all day, it's okay. But, you know, when I'm talking with you guys, we want to go to a place where like, well, it's not okay. Let's be here to make it better. And so that's exactly what it is. And so for you guys to produce my show for the public is the miracle of an enlightened societal revolution. And because of the correct blackout of how identity and the schism of like future casting or whatever I don't know, supposedly that's broken with human anatomy with the pineal gland. I've already overclocked it with like this orb of, but it's engaging with the particle physics. And that's why my language to other humanity is skewed, because they want to understand that part, and they should, and they do. All right, so, you know, the many things that the Y chromosome can actually do is like an embarrassingly long list of super cool superpowers, like almost all of them, right? Because it's like seed physics and the vanity that reflects the sort of bravery or characteristic brazen for the women. So what I work to do is become a professional idol that is a vanity for women, where she can understand, hey, we're so cool, look at this. It's just like something that's what I'm doing when I am building. And I think some people might feel like, oh, he's too personal or he goes deep or whatever. Like, I'm actually not trying to become other people. So the intimacy that you guys sense with me is correct. Also, I've built cat girls establishment to protect the men's bodies and whatever. but it's partnered with the call and do robot assembly, which is for women. So, I mean, sometimes people are receiving medication from me, like a Band-Aid in time, right? And I want to help people get to the next step. And it's not only a medication, it's inoculation. It's about curing the problem and getting back to work. So I'm not just a pleasure bot, but also people are like, oh, this guy is the factory for um, those Catgirl fairy lights that are adapted to no fairy level on the forest level, which means it's all this like perception level practical stuff of like existing like an amoeba that floats on the eye because the helium and hydrogen of the king heliosphere of the universe, and we're at this very much the crest of the wave, and out of all the universe, we are providing the cone, the math, and the rear differential to perfect our Merry Christmas calculation, to double the universe, to double our individual. We're promoting ourselves and then everything else. All right. And once one of these beautiful worlds in the universe, once one of them figures it out, and once one of you guys figures out one piece of Santa Claus's puzzle, it's like a shattered vase, and each one of you has a piece of it. Once one of you guys figures out the key lock, enlightens the all force, and everyone will have a static copy and a permanent version. And that's how they navigate one another with electromagnetics so as not to collide. So you live in the example of a spiritual house that is well balanced, but it also serves to prevent planetary objects from colliding. All right. And so that's how you put a bracket into the universe. That's how you staple in time. And you wouldn't want to abbreviate that bone structure, or you might lose equilibrium. Your honey sacket opens up and crevels, it starts getting thin, and then these other little ganging, the universe is full of haunted stuff. Oh, also we're in a sort of vortex of a generation, and the sequence, navigation, the extreme insight or orientation. I want you to have it. I want you to have the state-of-the-art thing. The image of the universe exists inside of your body. And from the shatterings of the mirror of fate, the light of my voice is armored for the truth and the greatest possible result. I work to refine it, Hatch and Millie's Master Source Industries. And unto you I impart your keystone lock identity and the true soul caliber for your voice to shine and to cure all sickness, for the liar to be defeated and the visuals comprehended, for the levitation of 2024, our voices make rise. A Merry Christmas, and this year, well, thank you, my good friends. The perfect circle. The Dragon King is here, watching over, presiding. He performs his several magic tricks. Some people getting lifted off by dragons now in the background. Joyous Merry Christmas music fills the halls. All right, you guys, Merry Christmas. And oh, I am the revolutionary object for the universe. This is natural. But because of the holy war against antimatter, which is attemptuous to make both the Earth heliosphere conform to an antiparticle, like it's generating the wrong results, and also the extinction of mankind. Okay, so that's bad enough. That's a nut shell, as a death peanut. Right? Well, I'm saying that that's the wicked accent of humanity. And because of that pressurized system, my singularity, much like the Earth heliosphere, why is the Earth one of a kind? And then here I am being the singularity for humanity. So I don't want to be a passive bug zapper, but we also using intelligent information so as to avoid the need for slapstick, like so as to avoid personal injury and to continue working, is to for us to staple it ka-chunk, these types of indelible rights into our on the inside of our skull. Some parts of this or Santa Claus, the Christmas tree. So in the future, is it going to be the actual Christmas moment? What we want to perform is our own magic that correlates the right sequence of investment. But that means sending out a pack of 10,000 wolves and using your powers, right? Because you want eyes on it. It's not just, oh, there's a fissure there in the future, pour out some water and it'll just go into the crevice. And it just goes, we're conscious for this huge reason. And a part of the problem is that there's these jellyfish that cause brain numbness where people think it's well enough to do. Well, it's the commercializations and this hypnotoes that like bring us into the wrong vignette of what's possible. And because I'm the nerve of a type of curvature, because Earth and I were both working in the nature to essentially, I invented the stapling for the future to be connected to my forehead and the arm of Cape Cod. It's a legend pinhole, and I'm perfecting the demented helium and the perverted elements of Earth through a wormhole that provides that the original universe with all the naming tree has a specific name for each of the heliosphere eggs before a fraction of the universe died. And I don't even want to say how much, because I think it's more than we would ever want to say. It's scary. And but there's a living dragon of the universe, and I've had to do a lot of digestive work while going as fast as the speed of light. Reality interface these things. And doing like particles or shards of Gannon on the prototype right now is what we're working on and we're sharing on Christmas. But the real pivots to do the right median. Well, I'd like to introduce you guys to the original Santa Claus, or have I already done that? Well, all right. Reality does. I believe in you that you guys understand I'm working to open up my streaming service, goodcelldivision.net. I'm working to get it financed so that I can have a larger haunted house with more attractions and little animated buttons and stuff. I'm trying to get my company going. I love performing, and I love you guys in the audience. But there's, I think you guys feel how I am desperate for business and for that. And I think there's both the reality and a goodness that we can all relate to. And on the beta level, I don't think it's really hurt my channel because I'm not really working to try to make like a views social media thing. I'm trying to literally communicate to people using just basic equipment. And I thought, the intelligence of people is going to see the image, and that's what needs to control the banks. That's what provides investment. That's what the curvature. That's how we save American identity as the leader of the upward swing we want to see in an economy that's booming, right? And I'm literally built for the Keystone Lock to be that character. And through the haunted house, one of these characters, there's like a giant wolf. There's a couple different monsters that we're gonna bring out. And I have a stack of my art here, and I thought that we'd do like a slideshow, but I'm really enjoying talking with you guys. And this really is my haunted house. And the idea is that there's a little alternator that allows the Vampire King to use these films for his generic dungeon. He has like an identity bracket where he's like, well, I was born here, and I'm here, and I'm pushing on, and now I'm alive. I'm just trying to make this thing. I'm trying to like push up, like keep, make my thing bigger, and so there's I have reason for like the confidence of my presentation, but I think the right confidence is to not mention certain things that for me are part of the universe conflict. Like my incarnation type is this oneness that means that no one else can really do what I do, but I'm not saying that I can do the things that humanity can do. Because I'm worried about the world. I see the fall of mankind. I see these suggestive slumps, and it's like temptation from metals. It's like the perversion of like, where the economy seems to be suggesting this, but all of a sudden it was different, and it's saying something different. And I found that there's more information from. Oh, I think that you guys are detecting the truth all the time. The reason I'm making this movie is to bring you guys to a point where we can, because I understand that Christmas is literally in like a couple days, right? And so I want to make you guys this magnum opus where we all cast into the fires of the universe, this perfect circle. There's Merlin is there watching over us, and he's taking his opportunity. He's like, I'll need 5 years of time to perfect this. I'm like, Merlin, we're moving faster than the speed of light. How from here to Merry Christmas, which is in only 2 days, could you work and build up a labyrinth of blessings and tabernacle and shrines to advance each of my audience members? With your, he's like, damn it, I'm Merlin, I'll do it. Puts down his staff. Merlin's just warping time and space energy right now. He's like 1 million years in the future, harness for the percentage of the universe to equate escape velocity from the black holes, the percentage of an increase of heliospheres surviving in this universe. They are equipped with the identity, hypercarriage, and the permanent angel forms, the cables and equipment to burst the black holes to defeat them, for they have consent in the empty space, whereas these that have originated the black holes and was perpetuating it have none. They do not have consent. They're the terrorist, the screaming void. And well, we all arrive as a human to look. Oh, so for example, I have this wicked accent also for humans to endure. Like we are the Venus that lives, and we're facing a universe that has ancient problems. So it's not our personal problem, but for weird reasons, like it is our opportunity to be a hero and defeat all these problems. So Hatch and Millie go around like just with a broadsword, just destroying all the problems. Just like the harsh it's a whole system called Switch. This is like Switch. The whole universe is using a different particle physics, so a whole different plan. So those that is like the authentic heliospheres are the kingpins and the bosses of the universe, and they're triangulating it. And their one-of-a-kind identity is what resonates in these things, indelible. And they're just like, no, I know it's a legend pans in this way in the future. And we can reclaim through helium the hatching spell that. So I'm perfecting the keystone lock. There's a lot of what keeps my equilibrium, my free speech available. And I'm looking for that miracle of someone saying, we want to produce your show, the pilot series, so that the public can see what you're doing, so that they can inform reality and that we're not getting triangulated by UFO government uses of paperwork and inconvenient truths, and people are just a bunch of numbskulls, and they're, what are they going to do with it all? So we want it to go public. There's really millions of people fill out the void of like what this really is. And so for me to not be scary is for you guys to produce me. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. For Hatch and Millie's Master Source Industries, we're providing the technology to perfect Christmas Day. Now, this has never happened before. The future, or this up and coming Christmas has literally, it's a blank canvas in the reality fabric, because the universe is going forward. Well, Christmas is in a couple days now. All right. Well, we're gonna travel faster than the speed of light with our friends, the Dragon King, the Vampire King, Millie, the Queen of the Universe. And there are thousands of demigrades of women who align with the Queen of the Universe. It's right for the female to seek her personal power, for the entertainment, for her to enjoy her life is the correct aim for her. But the boys need to be awarded for their invention and their supply of a good time. So when the boys are supplying the good time, the female is basically Happy Land. But also, what the part of the problem is, we already had Happy Land in the universe, and it was for okay, that's what I'm upset about. But I'm really impressed by the wizardry I'm seeing from the Randolph family tree. As always, their professionality precedes them. For the pivots of the Ware map, and where the Earth is working to preserve humanity, we have the jettison there and there and there. Those are good, like, safety locks and insurance brackets. So the universe belongs to a humanity whose voice carries through me at this time, like an idol, because the audience and their identity, it sort of comes back through me like this, and this is what you will give you guys wizard eyes. You'll be all like, "Oh man, I'm seeing weird stuff, and I don't know if it's true." That's true, because it's like the human anatomy itself is going through a vortex, like, of what our final application will be, and it's enough just to be a consumer, but I'm encouraging you guys to be author, and to throw into this perfect circle wizard. Cast your magical particle in there. All this magic goes off, and we'll find you the right. We'll send the right amount of mechanical wolves or whatever you're comfortable with, or like a version of yourself. All right, we'll find the right fittings to calibrate for the Merry Christmas, to double the universe, double Christmas. It's a calculation similar to the curvature of the now point, but we're going to amplify, and what the result is a actual better perceivable Christmas. People are going to be more chill. The sort of glowing lights of the eyes are going to widen, and people are going to be like, "Oh, the Christmas tree is so beautiful!" Ding ding ding. People are going to get along, right? Because they know something good is coming along, and they want to catch a piece of that. All right. Well, the entire universe does rely on the Earth heliosphere. It's a singularity, and that's why the ancient bracketings have perturbed me, and I believe there's a social solution. And I'm looking for that networking. I'm looking for you guys to be the miracle producer for my pilot series. But to invest into my company and to invest into healthy babies, we've got a Y chromosome aluminum. We're investing in that. It's like the perfect bullseye, the perfect ninja star. And it's going right into Merry Christmas. And it's going to cause like it's a type of torque that spins out cotton candy. The cure, the solution, all like rivers of healthy babies are getting forced out. It's a overwhelm, a type of shutdown order that's from a half-wit, and the men know better. We have to lock in with their gravity so that their pulse is actually forcing certain images from their immediate future. Be like, no, I saw my child born healthy over here, so I see there's been a very favorable one. Right? It was built with an aluminum microchip. Our communication is enlightened enough. It's the only fabric actually to be lucid enough to and actually have like this little enzyme, a small enough, well that can be applied right to the social grid. All right. So you guys are super complicated. Thank you for your gifts and your upholdings. I'm asking you guys to uphold justice. When you see the images and something, we need to do the really intelligent thing. And let's say that we have enough time and energy to calculate that, because in the truth there is. But in the universe, it seems like, well, what's it all for when everyone's not able to do this type of 100% achievement thing? So that's why I'm creating something where we can have 100% achievement with this conversation today. This is a miraculous what I'm bringing as the creator for forever, all the power that I have for healthy children, hatch the heliosphere eggs. Anything that's threatening our world, our residency, and or any heliosphere world, that is the enemy, and it is zero tolerance, and is destroyed. These black holes or false government energy need to be destroyed. And the nuance of humanity is a great decoder ring and a Babel fish for that. But I'm going to awaken them to their own identity privileges, which is for everyone that has eyes, including animals and stuff. This was weird. I've been working so hard, and on social media, I started noticing that the animals are saying, like, levitate with their glowing eyes, and they have a little language that they can say things. They're like, well, I don't care. Like, why are the animals talking all of a sudden? All right, you guys. So one of these guys is going to figure it out. We're going to take your magical marble that you threw into the circle of wells. We're going to perfect on the Christmas tree for Earth Heliosphere. It's explodey. It's not built from aliens or UFOs or human government or anything faulty. It's like the Brotherhood of Light. The heliosphere is their ability to have a revolution of their body type together. And so I'm supplying that. I'm the bridge for that. You guys are my welcome guests for a Christmas event. Or there's a Christmas workshop. We're going to give you all the best equipment, and we'll take all of the insurance and the damage. And we've got armor up the wazoo. So anything ever goes wrong, we cover it. And we don't put our people into ways of danger, even though the humanity speaks of this, that they are the fearless warriors. They are fearless of Valhalla. But simply put, the garden is a place where we can defeat evils without conjuring it. So when this magical video finally understands your contribution in your soul, you shall receive the doubling of Christmas upon your soul. A permanent interior soul stone, like the wings of a crown on your forehead. It protects the indelible mark of your identity. It's from the house of angels and the universe, right? So the way to understand forward movement is like the next checkpoint. We're at one of the checkpoints of the whole thing, and humanity's already being bled and cheated. That's why things are weird in America. But I'm this American boy, the perfect boy. And I want to sort of tell the story of Hatch and Millie as the perfect boy, just sort of spoon feed it to them for the sake of the vanity, so that the men have this confidence, because Millie is actually built. She's like a robot that overclocks the human anatomy and gives you the private access to the universe, women's arts, college, and there's all these new X fractals. Whereas the old universe, the reason it was breaking down because they were working with one X fractal. And like these guys were being like, hey, it's getting old here. And I'm like, but you weren't patient. You didn't wait for the Earth to mature the crystal clockwork. And now here we are, we're the enchanted humanity. Now, I'm saying is we need to use the Jack Springs, all right, on Christmas. Well, I'm sorry, but 2024. So we're going to use a pressurized system as we're moving towards Christmas. Our communication is moving faster than the speed of light. So you guys, your magic is really going to change things. Ka-chunk. That's really the only thing that's going to save us is us. All right. So I do like things like that. And Millie is for women and epiphany, because these are extra worlds that women can use because the application of estrogen, right? Her complex orientation with the universe and her desire for power or for personal experience to be increased. That's how the heliosphere egg defends itself and chooses to survive or even evolves. So the judgment of women is important, whereas actually the judgment of men is secondary. And men are more of like a maverick of all art forms, like this type of I can create anything character. And he's, powerful to build the super city. Right. So when our civilization is being crushed with like microcosms that are against our super cities, such as cultural amenities that are mockable and like an old bird, parrot, metals, just falls off the peg hole at a certain point, dead. It's like there's like things in the society that are stupid, and you're like, that's stupid, and then it's like, push, oh, oops, you're right. Well, that's because there's a bunch of weird new things that are like fields of honey, just like drunkenness and wonderful things. But that's why I'm looking for professionals who are interested in literally overhauling the problem to the source. And that's what I do. Is I'm brackling the universe. I'm going to fix the universe problem, and then it tethers to real stuff on this Earth plateau. And I'm hoping to weave it into my career as a communicator and entertainer. I want to make people laugh. I want people to fall in love. And Hatch and Millie are universe-sized robots, and so they'll give people like dreams and visions and the unicorn and all of that. People will be like, oh well, that. But the perfect design, let's plant the seeds so that I have all success ratios, because it is about giving the identity and the individual the best surprise party. Hey, it's all about you. That's what I give to the audience. But we need to package it the right way. So let's plant those seeds times X times 10 billion through the Christmas vortex, all right, for the success of Hatch and Millie's Master Source Industries. Let's say like we're over that 90s sensations when people will be like, this movie made me feel things. and I had a dream and I wrote it down, but that's okay. That's good. I want people to have a lifetime. I want people to have the best lifetime that they can have. And when we're all doing that, there's like this energy lift. I'm telling you, there really are these little brackets that hold the entire universe together. And as peculiar as it is, the universe has much for humanity to look forward to. Humanity is the treasured beagle. And the more you guys love me, the stronger that investment for the universe to communicate to you guys the truth of your opportunity in this lifetime, especially with me. Merry Christmas. for the greatest delivery of Santa Claus to the universe, doubled identity, to confirm with the living dragon, to defeat the actual problems in the universe, and to perfect our garden lifetime. Merry Christmas. All right. For the greatest possible achievement, how could this movie really change all time and energy? It's because of you guys, and it's because of me. And this thing just popped right. The little switch just popped out. I need you guys to help me out. We're going to emergency reconnect this thing. All right, I think we got it. So, like as if there's a problem with English. One of the errors I detected from the 80s that gives me a wicked accent. Here's one of my jokes. So there's a language metaphor of robots that shouldn't apply, but often grabs people's or grabs you by the shoe. This concept that your lifetime is replicated into each day. So like each day is like a lifetime. And so this is this other entropy that's saying like whatever defeats you, the individual within the day frame, or whatever philosophies your willpower, is what is also going to take you out, or that you are already defeated. But this is the wrong structure of language, because a day is not representing the probability of a lifetime. So the strange curvature of, yeah. So I had to fight against that. All right, so how could I really perfect? Oh, so I was saying, like, that's what gives my human identity a strange accent, because when I begin a show, I'm like, perfect design. Oh, it all opens up and we're going to be okay. Rolling, people understand he's dungeon mastering, he's giving a good story, but this is actually really important physics. And I want to be able to do it really, really well. And with a production, with several people working with me, we're going to have just masterpieces, beautiful works of art, and everyone really enjoying it, you guys. I'm really proud of all the work that you guys are doing, and I'm really impressed by you. I love you guys. Merry Christmas. For this video to cause the greatest possible result, ding, 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 use your unicorn's horn. We're going to shake the Christmas tree in everyone's house and do this like secret angel gifting, and we're going to make it all right. And it is kind of like pouring molten aluminum into a valley of permissions. And then you stand it up and you're like, here's my lightning pole of what people will allow me to do with Christmas. That's fine, because we need to whittle those things out. It's like a pink Christmas tree, a plastic lit up Christmas tree, but it's like the size of the heliosphere, and it's a living tree. And so these living spirits and stuff, humanity lives with an understanding of a toxic environmental swirl. But to adapt to that is not only to feed yourself and survive, like, hey, I'm part of the evidence of a successful, you rolled through college or whatever. But I'm not, and I'm saying Merry Christmas, welcome home. But for us to escape the animal dream is to force ourselves to encounter the folded next level, a greater version of ourself. And that's what we plant into Christmas right now. We're planting into Christmas, and so we have a couple days before Christmas. And so this film and you, in a particle reality, you guys are going to figure it out. Perfect bullseye. Very good. And so why is that in the middle? Like this mirror thing right in the center of your body is going to go Christmas. You're going to use your eyes, and you're going to blink in the circle. Christmas morning, your soul will be doubled. Harnessing all of these things like an aluminum Christmas tree. You have like 2 days to build your own magical labyrinth as you're moving forward. Kashunk! Christmas, forcing the sure delivery. It's like as if we're sacrificing something to ensure that the universe will receive the perfect blessings from Santa Claus, right? For the greatest possible blessing for 2024, for the next year. And the best thing for us too. Like I say, my equipment doesn't actually make people sacrifice themselves. Right? It's like the good energy of really good storytelling. And they all lived happily ever after. Merry Christmas, you guys. Thank you for your part and your piece of this house of light. The composite of this film creates a wizarding castle that is as large as the universe. Part of the interfacing with the multiverses, other worlds will be able to syntax with your envoy, your mechanical self, a robot charger. And for the women, outlasting power, the greater spotlight, an increase for their true glory. And for the men, the appropriate gadgetry of their clockwork assembly and orientation is a satisfactory rise of the next page of your own life. As men crawl along time, it is a different interface. And they have a different cocktail of chemicals to conduct it. But we need to physically overclock the Y chromosome on an individual basis, which is why I make mention of it. So you guys are part of that circle now and forever. The perfect Christmas. We're going to Jack Spring and we'll put I'm putting my head into the jam. Each one of us, I'll put my arm in. This other person, no, I'm going to make Christmas better. I'll do it. They invest in that. And sure enough, through Vortex, it was a safe investment. There was no wrongful sacrifice of the limbs or the person's body. But the individual was doubled in this way, doubled. We're going to double the entire universe. So it's the right way to be a Secret Santa, is it to, it's turnkey. I love you guys. Lakeside. I need this real estate reclaim for the magic of my own story. To be the greatest vanity for these, my wife. Like I literally love all the women as like the same group. Because I'm able to survive that in my lifetime, especially if that's part of my presentation. All the women, tranche. All right. That's what's amazing about the men is they're constructive. They're like, the women will crunch out what's going to be working and what's not going to be working. So, providing the right type of mechanical unicorn's horn is the armor so that we won't be shit on. It's the right superpositioning for us to complete our lifetime and see the real result, to see the truth of the universe. And our opportunity couldn't be more as humanity embracing 2024. Perfect circle. For the Merlin's Revolution Center, the wizards are harnessing the Mayan calendar to change away from extinction, to change the fate of man. We've appropriated West to sacrifice, and we've chosen against extinction and the eradication of humanity. So we've chosen to sacrifice every problems that the humans have and that we have today. So all of our problems are going to get obliterated in the forces of all these layers of hell, whatever. We're just going to destroy our problems. And that's Merry Christmas. And we're going to bring ourselves into just a better world and a better universe. And thank you guys, because you all have different shards of this mirror of fate. The technology will provide and survive the test of time. Go straight into binary, shrink. And it's very powerful in that way. But in the real way, we are sharing the same now point. I want to say I love you unconditionally, and I'm never going to let you go. For Merry Christmas, I am the Hatch Panheliosphere, and the solemn demand that all the heliospheres shall hatch at the end point of our universe, and that our world is the king planet standing on the truth of that. It is our investment for the next 100 years, for the assembly of our castle in the sky, kind of heaven or whatever is a stabilized market. Exactly. Most of my life and career has been these crawlers. And there's my antlers too, calculating on what is the sustainable markets, not just what's easily to do. The sequence of true love and falling in love. We are more powerful than the river. The calculation of aluminum stood like a fantastic tree of light in the universe. Welcome home. Health guard, armor upgrade, doubling to everyone's health, massive explosions to our problems or amassing sickness. These eradicate tank 3 to destroy all our problems. Oh, I have like 3. There's a universe light beginnings character, like the lighthouse. Is this one character I'm working on, and then there's this character Tank 3, and he's the third part of a 3 battalion that continuous auto fires and destroys things that conjure against the men's Y chromosome. Right? Men, in fact, are the resonance of light. I was born with like the staplet of force field accurate angel anatomy, but the humanity had an anatomical thing that we needed to get around. So we basically are Plan B, and we can keep it and we can win it, but we have to invest and we have to enjoy Christmas. All right. So for the best possible Christmas, we found it, and here are all the treasures that we've got in this, the perfect hour, the adult hour. We're here to make the universe and ourselves better. We're like, okay, we'll go through that doorway. You know, when I had to build an entire angel factory that stabilizes doors, and to bring it into real way, I have inventions for automatic doors that do different things that I was thinking, like, this could be a factory. I was explain, like, it's a different interface, but it has real bolts, and it's like an AI with recognition. It also talks to the people and stuff. But it's like a larger door with steel and stuff. It's like really well built. It's like just a company that makes doors. I was like, if I made a show about what I would describe as like the best door, and I have like 3 doors, and I'm like, would anyone be interested in ordering these doors? Suddenly, you know, these orders come out, you know, hey, I think we could get you know, we might be able to turn a whole factory, you know, bring it to life. There's thousands of people working there. So it's amazing, you guys. I love America so much, and I love you guys. I admit that. I guess I didn't explain to you guys that being the singularity, I'm the origin of the pincer, the sort of the problem of the particle physics and the angels. And then with the pineal gland, it's only a thing about whether or not humanity is respected in a near neighborhood, a nearby area, and certainly we are not. That's the problem. It's causing a problem. But what I'm doing is beefing up our universal rep, right? So like all like trillions, billions of heliosphere worlds are going to actually receive Christmas blessing, Christmas presents through the fractal bond. Okay, so it's going to make humanity really popular. But Switch is also going to about and say, like, look, it's not about terrorist energy converted with a hologram. That's why we have black holes, is to control better the Earth with a remote computer, with a mothership built from destroyed worlds. This is not natural for the, you know, so the pangs of the universe fighting back against the comatose signal is like for humanity to produce Hatch and Millie's Master's Industries. Because being here is magical. well, like Juliet sequence and how electricity works, or why we have a nose on our face. We are how the universe solves its problems. We are then there's sort of this beginning. We're the beginning of creation. This is the enlightened beginning. Whereas the Big Bang, it provides the centrifuge of all these particles, for the naming tree of the original bracketing of all the heliosphere worlds in the universe. There was an invitation to the Earth, but it wasn't understood. It was sabotaged. Humanity is this underdog character that is just now becoming aware of how to overclock against that problem. So we are the heroes. That's not predicted. We are going to use the cell division calendar for the Mayan calendar to procreate sacrifice. It's like the maid that defeats the lich. So there are the multiple things in the universe. So there's like in the multiverse, these guys can go in and reach in and help you guys out and break some things that you wouldn't be able to otherwise break. The Earth and the sun has been going on, and the sunshine has been going through a whole phase shift thing because his helium was being triangulated and so like an animal, the universe is just like this thing. So, but I'm doing really cool stuff to make humans really popular on the actual market of solid matter. Okay, so we're not an anti-particle festering false evidence, which would be this invitation to a stink hive. They're like, oh, we love the festering of your guys' misery. Whereas we have to angle the mirror correctly and be like, we're upset about you. Blast. So Explodey has this Y-shaped thing that floats around on the edge of his heliosphere, and it controls this laser. He can do that now. Interheliosphere vortex is like a microwave. You can control things between them. And Earth, a bunch of his neighbors was farmed, and they're plotting against Earth without listening to the living beagle of humanity. What would they say? They claim they do, with probes and underground installations with computers that ping and do all this pingy shit. Except for that, in the universe, more recently, the black hole schism turned its gaze away from those motherships and connected to the Earth heliosphere. And not because humanity is guilty, but the scalpel is removing these sort of moon probes and mole men problems. There's this huge stalking terror of a false human legend. Each of us have to exist as the fullness of ourself and do wisdom. And so for Merry Christmas, we invest in there's like a couple days here where you guys can go through Juliet doors, you can change things. Invest in the Christmas doubling. We can save ourselves, we can save our people. All right, so the language is distorted and the universe is starting to understand. And and I need you guys to be my the first understanding that I am working with the rendering of proven markets in the universe. And the pointillism, like harnessing for the next million years, how do we literally solve the medical issues of the universe and have a curvature where more worlds are actually surviving? Because that head count is math that can be counted. The mortality of the universe, right? It's the beginning of language. It sucks to die, right? And there's the percentage of the universe is dead already. So there's just like this dosage of karma or dead already. Oh, what? So you guys converted dying worlds through a hologram into a screaming beagle that was then mind controlling the Earth heliosphere because you weren't supposed to do that, and you guys aren't converting the energy there properly. And like the epiphany needs to be right? Because you guys are intelligent, you understand why that could be spiraling out of control. So the real epiphany is between the humans and their work with technology. I'm working to stabilize that to find the scraps of original technology. So it's not about like finding an intentionally crash landed UFO and then splicing its technology into this and that when like medical cures for humanity are absent. But there's like, why is the acorn the shape that it is? The origin of these creation symbols, like the cherries on the back of a cobra. Okay, the icons indicate that we are at the beginning of creation. The Ware map and the Massachusetts alignment in this historical turn of humanity on this earth is more powerful than the Mayan calendar. I'm just using that as a rear differential to give humanity the right perspective and the leverage they need to defend themselves, what with their residency on fire. All right, well, you can better equip everyone, including the confused UFOs and aliens and all this. The rubbish will be clarified better once I'm produced and becoming the revolutionary icon. And the Leverett Center is physically essential for that. It's like I'm in a coma. The generosity that would be a continuous wealth to you, for you guys to bring me home, to bring me to my lakeside streaming, would be true love in a way that I wouldn't be able to stop giving my gratitude. And this would cause an alternate dimension of just like wealth that will lift you guys up. Right. So that's kind of this enlightened amount of stuff. And I thought this Christmas special, I would draw a picture, but I just really enjoyed talking with you guys, and I'm grateful that you're here. So, we have a couple days. I'm grateful you guys were listening to me. I know it's not the same. We have a couple days, and you guys can invest in. You'll have like a couple golden rings from Merlin, or you've gotten some things from the wolf or the vampires that bit you. All right, if you're lucky, and most people are like looking to get bit by a vampire. These types, my son has all these different powers, the universe residency powers, and really cool fangs. So his company is like Residency Continue, and he's got fangs, and he smiles, and he bites you. Yeah. But he's like, but everyone else is trying to feed on my blood. You heard? Like, they want my bloodline flowing in theirs. So, like, I'm the commodity. I'm the stallion of that. It's not like I'm going around. That's the thing. Is like the Enlightenment isn't seeking to terraform other people into a confine where they're the same as, like, we're not trying to make other people the same as us, right? And this is what the confusion of outer space is, because the Mandelbrot is only able to create the resonant flux here on Earth. On other worlds, they're trapped in the same old Mandelbrot that it is the whole time, because it's a subrooting system, but the whole universe is using that. But only here on Earth can you feel the resonant flux of the awakening of the heavens. But it's happening universally. But the Earth was having like achoo, achoo, and we all have this wicked accent, right? Millie is already this billions of fold, and like the whole universe throbbing with Millie, and so she's really powerful for women. And I'm hoping to beef that up. A little whole like lakeside center where there's like all this women's stuff. And the right way to do that, it's a relationship. But I definitely have the motivation to do that. And I want it to be new age, cutting edge. And the way to do that is really to build it with the audience, where you're listening and, oh, you guys like that? Oh, more of that? Okay. And it's going to that's when I'll emerge from my coma. That's when I'll be alive. That's when I'll be a man. That's when I'll be handsome. That's when I'll be in love. I mean, hold on a minute. I want to say to you guys right now, I've never been more in love with Millie and with America and with the universe and with Explodey 5000. It's possible for us to get along. Thank you guys for your contribution to the wizarding circle. You tossed a marble in, thank you. And just I'm saying you can load anything on that. It's just one thing. We're going to remove all our problems and we're going to get ourselves into the next level. And for everybody in the chaos of the individual, the next level is not the same thing for each one of us. So that's why the technology of communication causes the Chansey. It's a Randolph Chansey. I'm looking for the wolf shield. There's some like literal things out there. There's like the beginning of creation, so it's like that is what that is because that's what it's doing. And so it's like the dream of human ghosts is all shifting in the 90s, and but I'm just sick of it. Like, oh, I'm feeling something again, and I think a lot of humans are fed up with it too, and they're more strychnine than I am, but they can hear that I've been working hard for my communications company. Is really important. Oh, and like I'm so in love with it right now. But I when I think of myself as having a budget for the pilot series, and I'm filling on location with those islands in the Leverett area, making these characters come to life. That's going to be like the first time I've ever had society working with me on a level where I'm like, dude, this is what I'm trying to say. And thank you guys so much for being here. I love you guys. It's America. It's a bold night. I love you guys. And like, I'll be your guardian angel as long as you let me. I'll pour those aluminum castings into the rivets of where you allow me to catch you, where you need someone. I remember my friend told me, he was talking about pushing hands or something and how people try to, I was like, never mind. Like, sometimes something as simple as that nudge that keeps you awake while you're driving is like a technology that humans become patented for. So like life-saving things, you're driving and you thought you all I don't know, I think I might have nodded off. No way. Like someone, there's a boot to the head right there. Like, so some of these people figure it out while they're driving. They're like, no. Yeah. All right, man. We'll put this into the works. So confirmation, we are at the beginning of creation. The only way to perfect your lens is so X5000, your uniform for residency to continue exploding through the lens of Christmas. You're going to shoot a perfect bullseye. Perfect bullseye. Bonus. You did it. Good job. The entire castle, all your body is getting shot with medical upgrades, things you didn't even know about, all these hidden little places in your body. Oh, and then like a Christmas tree, all lit up from within. And it's all the stuff, the things that you required, and all the gifts and upgrades to keep you cutting edge. So lubrication for the ghost. It's for the unification. It's actually the 369, the skull connection to your 6, the snowflake of your intention, your waterborne castle, and your 9, the control over your eggs or seeds, or both, or just or maybe you're just responsible for one of those things. All right. But the physics and the robotics is like this hyper thing the size of the universe about eggs and seeds. And if you're working with that robotics, it brings about the language. It's sort of stuck to it. It's a fetus fractal. So the robots are, the robotics is like the quality of the soul and the curvature of staying healthy. And so we're investing in that to keep our bodies healthy personally. Perfect bullseye right into the Christmas tree, into the Christmas future. But this thing, thank you guys. I'm going to wrap up this perfect meditation. I'm so glad you guys were here to hang out with me for an hour and to do something magical. And it's a corkscrew punch that's going to lift all the Christmas. But it's a really interesting thing because it has these staples, right? Because the way to really bless everyone, all humanity, needs that Oh, it turns out you did really good, and this amount of celebration was able to be converted and save parts of the universe. When that comes back and gives them the wellness to be healthy and to have a full life. Yes. Well, that's a really good exchange ratio. That's great. All right, so there's a little bit of selflessness in that conversion deck, and that's how you can be a Secret Santa, is you actually built it correctly. So it's going to harness for the human people. It's going to, oh, that's perfect for us, and then for the universe, oh, that's perfect for us, or the Santa Claus, oh, that's perfect for me, and for me and for you, oh, that's perfect. That's perfect for us. Thank you. Perfect bullseye times infinity. Moving forward, hatch the helix for eggs. The appropriate conquest of space is a singularity of consent that the hatched helix for eggs have, and that the UFOs and the collapsing universe and the problems do not. So there's a vast divide. The one end of the universe to the other, that as much space as we've conquered in the universe is there's a big difference between humanity and their divinity and Merry Christmas. And the goodness that we can supply with these dirty nunchucks. Are you kidding me? All right, and then over here, we're stabilizing the market, you guys. I want to be an idol for women. I love workshopping with men, but they need to understand this guy supplies cat girls, which means if you feel tickle bunnies from him, that's just his band-aids. He's not actually wrongly affecting your lust Dembodo, okay? But I've lived my life and I've noticed that I excite people. And I'm just like, dang, am I just like too sugary for people? And I don't know. I hope that you guys can understand that I really want to emphasize that I actually want to embarrassingly make me more of a sex symbol, but one that is confident and beautiful, and like really go into that. Yeah. Thanks you guys so much. I love you guys. Perfect design. Merry Christmas. I love you forever.